Hey everybody, and welcome to the day after a general roundtable about Doki Doki Literature Club.
All the Dokis.
If you're I'm here with Haley, my wife.
Hello.
And Josh.
Hello.
You know him. If you're watching this, it's assumed that you have experienced all of the fiction that you want to experience with this game, and that you are okay with being spoiled. Absolutely. If you don't want to watch this start to finish, we have a little bit of a table of contents in the background, or the doobly-doo, for you to be able to just parse whatever you want. So I just want to open it up to like original thoughts, like first opinions.
Okay, so I remember vaguely how angry you were, and I want you to reiterate why you were angry originally and why you are less angry now.
Okay, yeah, so we'll just do I was angry at first, and it's just a bit of a background. My wife plays all the dating sims. Not that of all the dating sims that the three of us have collectively played, she plays most of them.
Which is 2.
Yeah.
You fuck one horse. Suddenly you're a horse fucker.
Well, just in general though, I like it. When the game ended, I was really very sour about it in a way I couldn't describe. After letting it simmer, I do think it's a pretty good game. I won't go as far as to say really good.
Just pretty good?
Yeah, pretty damn good. Like,
why is all that Doki stuff on your computer right now?
It is.
You got so much Doki.
Yeah.
All that Doki stuff. He means your Yuri background.
Yeah.
Well, no, he has more than that.
Well, no, let's.
I'm seeing the porn.
No, shut up. But what got me worried is that for the first half of the game, it's an extraordinarily well written, executed discussion.
Yes.
Both discussion in general from the point of human characters, but also from when you open up the game, Dan is like, look, this has some strong themes. Here's a content warning. Which if you open up the content warning, it just says, hey, if you guys are triggered by this, maybe not.
Maybe don't.
But it's such like a frank discussion about like depression and cutting, and we found out later like parental abuse.
I don't know, maybe. I haven't seen Yuri's.
Well,
not Yuri. I haven't seen
Natsuki. Yeah, but like
Natsuki's.
It feels like at the end it was pumping the weird gas a little hard at places.
Well, and that was my complaint too, because see, I hear that you simmered down. I actually got more angry about it.
Did you really?
Because in the beginning of the game, we're all like, yeah, this is going to be a serious discussion, and we're going to hear some bullshit, and it's going to be awesome. And then all of a sudden, none of that's real. None, all of them are computers. Fuck you.
Well,
Nothing matters in this world. Nothing.
Well, what gets me the most is that I feel, and this is my primary gripe with the game, if you're going to tackle those themes in such a crazy realistic way, you kind of have a responsibility on the point of an author to... Haley's shaking her head.
I don't agree. It's your point of the author to create the game that you want to make.
But if you're dealing with... Because with Sayori, it felt genuine. And a lot of people have praised the game that it's exactly... It's very genuine. It's a very real-life guide to some point about... how to deal with that, and that it's a real issue. And it is also for Yuri to a point, but what got me to like the game better was realizing that Monika was going in and turning all of their characteristics up to the point where they weren't human. And going back and editing it, I noticed a lot of times they're like, I don't know why I feel this. This is extremely unnatural.
Yes.
And on a second attempt, I guess it's much.
You're kind of like, oh.
It does rub me a little bit the wrong way that Yuri goes fully yandere.
Yeah, just.
But that was Monika's doing. Like that was the whole point. I mean the girls. Here's. Disclaimer note from my section of the couch. I have not played this game. I have watched people play this game. Mm-hmm. I have seen their playthrough up until the very last episode I haven't seen yet because it's not up yet.
It's not out.
It is now, but
it will be by the time this goes up, but it's not out right now.
But go ahead.
Okay, so again, with the idea of Yuri becoming yandere and whatever the fuck happens to Natsuki, you know, that is Monika twisting their characters. And to me, the girls already started out as tropes. You have the shy, quiet one, you have the tsundere, and you have the hot one. And
What's the hot one?
And then you have the girl, Monika, and then you have the girl next door, which is Sayori.
The childhood friend.
Yes.
So that is one thing I did want to tackle is these are... Okay. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, but, like, if you have a discussion...
No, I don't, but finish your thought.
And so, like, for Monika to turn that up, I don't know, that felt... in the game universe, like, authentic to me.
Yes.
Like, I feel like it was following its own rules.
And it was.
Which is more than I can say for some games that go down this path.
I feel like... Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Guys!
No,
it's like to be married, everyone. No, I'm kidding. I love you.
Go do your thing.
And so, yeah, when these girls' characters tack up to this yandere, and again, I haven't seen Natsuki's version. I've only seen Yuri's. You know, that feels in-game, like it's following the rules again. And so, like, with your attitude in Sayori, like, everybody's saying, like, oh, this is a great way to deal with depression, to introduce depression. I was like,
Is it
Monika did, like, it was manipulated. Like, Monika did that. She tells you straight up that...
I changed their character traits.
Yeah, I changed her character traits to try to make you like her less. And I also want to point out that you find out Sayori is depressed, like, what, maybe...
Shortly before.
Yeah, a few in-game minutes before she's gone.
Well, I like that there are just... There are
hints.
There are hints, and the foreshadowing we'll get to, but... About the... Are you done?
Yeah.
I don't want to... Okay.
That's what it means when I stop talking.
The tropes, right? She's the one that's played and has the most experience with these tropes, and you would think that these fall firmly into stock characters without being like...
I definitely felt that way at the outset. I feel like... I don't know, but to me, personally, because... Yeah, I do kind of feel like they were more stock characters and less people. Mm-hmm. That when Monika kind of twists their channels around, I find that interesting, and I find that a really neat twist, because I don't see them as real characters, I see them as tropes.
Okay, yeah, and maybe it's just that I didn't have... like, if I had known going in that it was metafiction and not a mental health discussion, I would have warmed up instantly to that.
Well, and that was my thing too, because I did expect a serious discussion, and I also expected it to get dark and creepy, and I also expected Monika to be a fucking witch, but no, she was not. And actually, I'm now a big supporter of Monika, because either she was alive at one point, she was so meticulously created as an AI, so meticulously coded that she became sentient, or she's like this weird spirit trapped in a game. And all three of those things are great, but I need to know which. And
I would argue it's neither of those things.
It's none of those things?
Yeah, it's Monika did exactly what she was created to do.
So she was meticulously programmed.
Yeah, because it's a game. Because you played a game.
But it's not a game.
Yes, it is. Monika does that every time, no matter who is playing it.
For us.
Oh, you're talking as an in-game character.
As an in-game character.
Oh.
Which I feel like we're playing a character playing the game. That's how I've always viewed it as, because...
Oh, okay. I didn't see it that way.
Well, one thing that did come up to me is that backing off, accepting now that this is not a meditation piece on mental illness, it is a gentle central theme, and that if all of them have quirks, you've got like cutting parental abuse, depression, and then what got me is that Monika was listed as existential crisis, which seems that of these three people, she is the only one aware that she's in a video game.
Of the four people.
I
don't know what I said.
No, because Sierra's fucking dead.
So I liked the game enough that I actually did splurge the $10 to get the soundtrack and Dan Salvato's making of page.
Yes.
And if you guys don't know about it, Dan, he was making another visual novel at the time, and he's really been simmering on an idea of something that follows the tropes of a dating sim or a visual novel and then breaks halfway through. And he has screenshots of him texting his friend and be like, I want there to be a childhood friend who we've known forever. We're going to off her right away as an attempt to... He did have kind of a sick sense of humor about it. Yeah. So he was jumping the gun a little there.
But I don't know. I feel like with that medium, you have to do something different.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to call it a limited medium. I will call it a slightly saturated medium.
Well, extremely saturated.
Would you call the barrier to entry is pretty low then?
I don't know.
Too many not good ones.
Again, I don't know. Have enough experience with the medium. I know there's a lot of them, and I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So you played like
more
two
and more
of them.
realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know sameness. It can be a huge issue.
So I guess it's a very standard, well executed, at least for the first half, just discussion about. Not discussion, but it's a plot, and it's a generic plot.
I was bored to tears by the first half of that game.
Oh no, that's
why I was so glad when the split happened. I was like, oh my god, this is dull.
Well, the pacing is important to do that, because for a long time, and Josh and I were talking about that in the final episode, where after the first moment, you're like, oh, the game is trying to calm back down, so I let my guard down again, and it's working, and I don't like that.
Yeah. Where it's like, oh, but then she makes it overtly, and this is just a criticism on the plot. She makes it overtly creepy, where you can't fully calm down to feel either Yuri's or Natsuki's death.
Okay.
Where all of a sudden, oh, they're dead because of X, and I wished that there was less just Monika going on at that point in time. Because it was all like, no, you pay attention to me now. Pay attention to me. Focus on Monika. Monika is Win. Okay?
Yeah,
Monika is best girl.
Win could do, yeah.
And we sit there, and she like pops up in front of screens, and you know that something's going on, and you know that she's the one responsible for it.
The special character.
Were you raising your hand? Because you don't need to do that.
Well, yeah, I just didn't want to interrupt you, because I know how that feels.
Yeah.
It happens at work sometimes. Okay, so here's my thing with Monika and why this game is not my thing. It's really not. There's nothing in this game really for me. I mean, it's all hot women and spooky shit, and that just immediately turns me off. Here's what I think the guy was going for without seeing his author comments of gamers and gaming culture, at least in my experience, that you have this experience of control while you're in a game, and the character of Monika takes that away from you from the moment of Sayori's death to when you take it back and you open up the game files, and that's you physically opening up the game files, manipulating a real world computer, a computer to affect the game. I think it was very well done. I will say it's not my thing. But I think it was well done. I think it was a very standard dating visual novel is the more proper term. I think it was a very standard visual novel with to me an interesting twist that had I been enjoying the game, I would have liked.
that had I been at all interested, I'd have been like, yeah.
And okay, so I will say I had Sayori's death spoiled for me because I was like, what is going on in this game, and then I found out really kind of accidentally. I will say Yuri's death got me. I mean, just to watch somebody stab herself in the stomach multiple times was creepy, even just a character. And that's one thing I will praise the author for. I did believe the characters as he added those mental illnesses that you guys were talking about. When they were just tropes and it was just the visual novel, I didn't believe them. So the addition of those mental faculties, things like depression and... what have you, that really added a lot of character development to me. So I will say that in that defense.
Well, and that's what I thought was making the game gooder. Like, because honestly, I was bored too. Mostly because John wouldn't let me read anything. But I was sitting there and I was just like, when are we going to get to spooky? And then when we got to spooky, I was like, no, let's fucking back off from the spooky. Let's go back to the cute girls.
Okay, to what degree do you feel like, because this is, even like Honest Trailers was like, this is a game heavily focused on a subvert, something is up.
Yeah, something's wrong.
So to what degree do you think that hiding that subversion from a new player is like important?
It's absolutely key. Absolutely key.
So
because if they go in there thinking like we did, like, oh, something's gonna go on, then they stay guarded the entire time.
Yeah.
They stay insulated. They stay like I stayed. That's why I was affected less than you were. Where I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, something bad's gonna happen though. When is the fuck going to come?
On that same note, though, me personally, if I were playing that game not knowing what was gonna happen, I feel like the like pelted in the face shock value he's constantly throwing at me would have really turned me off. But again, it's not my kind of game. I can see where somebody would enjoy that.
Where it's like all of a sudden, oh, so Monika.
It's like, oh, there's death. Oh, there's glitches on screen. Oh, what's this character doing? What's wrong with her?
Yeah, and just the invitation to explore lore that might be out there felt a little bit like Dan knew how to generate buzz and deeper discussions about what was really going on. That turned me off a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And to some degree, it was very, very effective. I want to say like the most powerful, suicide aside, the most powerful moment in the game for me was post stabbing, when you sit there in the classroom with her for 3 in-game days.
Yeah, and you're just waiting.
Well, I'm reminded of a scene from Funny Games after they kill one of the characters when there's a 10-minute lingering shot of the thing where you're just allowed to go, fuck.
What do we do? And, you know, it was well-paced. There were a couple of things that I had problems with because, again, I viewed the game as, like, I'm playing a character who's playing a character. Because my computer's name is Excalibur. And there's no way that...
it would have asked you if you go by Excalibur.
Yeah. It's just like, it's game break for me. But, I viewed it like, this is a real person. Not a real person, but a person who knows what's going on. But is limited in ways that she can communicate with me to the point where she has to break the script completely in order to get in touch with me. Not only that, but one of my biggest problems with the game is that apparently when you kill the president, Sayori becomes president.
Yeah.
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 That's what happened.
Here's when I said at the end of episode 12 that it didn't stick the landing. Here's my biggest complaint: is after Monika is dispatched and Sayori takes over, seemingly like a much more cheerful person and running the club. That to me felt like an earned, emotional ending that I really vibed with. But apparently we got the bad, not standard ending.
Is that the not standard ending? How do you get the standard ending?
No, that is the regular ending if you don't do special stuff. Is that she's like, but I'm the president now, and then Monika stops her, and then
So there's a good ending?
There is a good ending.
Fuck me.
The good ending, spoilers, but you're already here this far. If you do enough like loads or restarts or save states to create a satisfactory ending for all of the girls, it still happens where Sayori is like, look, you know, you must really love us. Thank you for taking the time out. And we don't know you, but thank you so much. And then they continue to play that song at the end.
And then it's just the song again. Fuck me.
But for me, like that, I like the perfect ending, it's called. I like that way better than... Because the standard ending, it felt like an episode of Lord of the Rings or something where...
Things are bad.
The movie could have ended here, or here, or here, and there's one extra bad thing.
Once again,
fuck! The Sayori turn threw me off, and it was going towards a really decent ending otherwise.
See, and I get it. I get why the president is so... well, assuming that it's programming, which we have to assume that it's programming.
The president is the one endowed with self-awareness.
The reason why she gets so desperate is because she is literally sitting there in the computer waiting for you to pay attention to the game and in consequence to her, but you can't because she's not an option. We even tried.
Yeah.
We tried like right away.
Yeah.
The first option that we could get was, hey, let's spend some time with Monika.
Yep.
Can't do it.
No.
Can't spend time with Monika. And she has to work herself up to killing Sayori just so that we can talk to her.
Okay.
But that's okay, because Sayori is an NPC, and fuck NPCs, right?
Yeah.
But Monika's an NPC, too.
An NPC, though. She's an augmented NPC.
I don't know. To me, every character in this game is code.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're looking at
they
it
do
from,
what they're designed to do.
Yeah.
But again, to me, I didn't think the way you thought of it as being a character playing a character. I thought it was as me playing a game that is talking back to me.
Oh, see, no, I miss me with that shit. I don't want nothing to talk to me.
He found the Monika stuff to be the spookiest. Like when somebody
and that I believe was the intent.
Sliding in front of the fuckings, get out of here.
It's Very spooky.
Get out of here!
So
Don't say hi to me!
you guys will
Josh,
remember.
we do have neighbors.
You guys remember when I first thought that Monika was the one that caused Sayori to hang herself. You remember the venom coming out. I thought that was genuine. I didn't know there was all this background skullfuckery going on.
Yeah.
But that I remember being very, very upset at somebody. And I do like it when like a piece of media does turn around and go, okay, the character did have motives. Based on your mileage, you can still hate that person.
But yeah.
To what degree do you personally feel that Monika earned sympathy with the story beats?
I feel like Monika earns a lot of sympathy. I don't know. Haley?
So to me, the issue with Monika manipulating Sayori is you have to understand that Monika does not see Sayori as a person.
No.
And she doesn't see... I don't know to what degree she sees herself as a person, but to her, killing Sayori is deleting a bunch of code, and that's exactly what she did.
Yeah.
So Sayori committing suicide is only upsetting because we didn't expect it. Like, expecting Monika to have, or to in that same respect, to warrant sympathy for doing, for essentially, like, like when we were playing Toy Story 2 and Al's Toy Barn. People always say Al is the bad guy. I was like, what? He's treating toys like they're toys.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want? And that's exactly what Monika does. She treats characters like they're characters, like they're code, like they're designed to be in the world she happens to live in.
They had referenced that earlier and later also, where they're like, I'm talking to brick walls here because they can only respond to me in these pre-programmed ways.
Yeah.
And reading Mother's Basement's article about it, or video about it, and how this is more of a, like, these people are stuck. It's a philosophical discussion. That is maybe not philosophical,
I was
but
gonna say, I don't think that was Mother's Basement's argument.
It's commentary on the fact that these are thoughts, not people. Closing thoughts. Anything we've left out?
It was spooky.
It's spooky.
I don't know. I think it was fine. I'm glad you came around because you were pretty vehement when you came home that night.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling great on it, but I have warmed up considerably.
Yes. I was always a fan, except for Spooky. And even Spooky I liked a little bit. It was a cool game.
Yeah, I mean, I can appreciate the game. This sounds so weird to say. I can appreciate the game without liking it. It's not that I think it's a bad game. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
Again, hot girls and spoopy. You know what? Somebody make Doki Doki Man Literature Club, and I will play the fuck out of that.
Yeah, she'd play all
And then
that.
I feel like it would affect me a lot more because, like...
You're not attracted
because the skinny
to these
blonde
women.
one dies.
Just to close it up, Josh, who is best girl?
For me, best girl is Monika.
Okay.
She's the one who conquered everything.
Well, we did the Yuri path all the way, but Sayori is bae. I found out.
You found out.
I love the childhood friend thing.
Well, the internet loves Sayori.
Well, actually, you know what? Yuri is bae. Yuri is my bae. Fuck Monika.
It's okay. You can have Yuri. I like the short ones, guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow with something a little less thoughtful and a little more...
More about penis jokes.
Yeah, because we got our fill.
I
I dig it, but thanks for joining us.
Of penis.
Thank you, special guest.